Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian,
I'm Lauren.
and this is the morning routine. We'll train with our body weight, check in from tip to top, however that's said, and then working on some balance skills and finishing with the bar. Grab a balance aid for a little bit later, but right now all you need is your body, and we'll check in with the breath and rotation starting at the head neck. In a split stance, standing tall, lightly press those knees over the toes. Just hang out for a second here. Squeeze your butt cheeks, straighten your knees, stand up nice and tall. Repeat. Knees towards over toes. Then take one leg, slide it along the floor that the quads are parallel. Then push off that back leg, transferring weight between 2 feet. Now, nice and tall. One hand belly, one hand chest. Take a belly breath in, 4 seconds, in through the nose, and exhale. Repeat, feeling that top hand stay calm, and bottom hand move. Exhale. Repeat for 2 repetitions of breath in the chest. Breath in, bottom hand stays calm, rib cage expands, and exhale. One more, breath into the chest, and exhale. Shake that out. Let's just switch our stance. We'll come back here. To switch, just like Lauren did, amazing, Lauren, use that foot, bring it underneath. Little plie again, same thing, other leg out front. Now, stand between 2 feet. I like my hands facing forward, my shoulder blades lightly retracted. Pulling the crown to the ceiling. From here, I'm going to rotate over my right shoulder, looking at Lauren, and then rotate to center, through center, and the other direction. One more time each side, rotation. Rotation, getting taller every time, and returning in center. I can feel my feet work quite a lot here too. Check in with the ground, check in with the head neck. Now, that rib cage. The hips will stay forward, as will the head neck, and at the upper body, rotate. Stay over your base of support, like a spiral staircase going straight up to the citadel. Then again, making sure that we're not leaning or twisting, turning. Stay over that base and repeat one more. Lauren didn't like that citadel.
Well, it's just like, how is that word on the tip of your tongue?
I don't know. Tight staircase. Beauty and the Beast style.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, face forward. Shoulders forward. Hips. Now, open the hip to the back corner. It's likely that the shoulder wants to come with, so keep that forward, and then close up the hip. Repeat 1 or 2 more repetitions. Face and chest stay forward, hips open and close. And then last one, open, close, push forward to come back. Same thing on the other side. Knee bends over toes. That task's getting a little easier as we go through today. And then our split stance, like the original side. Crown of head tall, shoulders back, palms forward. Rotate for twice each side. The face or chin stays on the same level. And we're growing taller every time. Last one, 2s of each. Return to center. Grip the floor with those feet. Hands across chest if you prefer. Now the hips and head stay forward as we turn the rib cage or T-spine. Bring it back to center with some core tension. I heard Lauren bear down there. And the same thing, staying over the base of support as to avoid the bend. One more time each. Keeping the hip forward, return center, and then again. Last time that side. Center. Same position with hands, out to the side if you wish, but the shoulders and the head stay forward, and the hip opens and closes. The leg in the front is mostly unchanging. The one in the back might go between a full extension knee and then a slight softness in the knee. Make room in those hips. One more time as we open, close, push forward, and come under. From here, we'll do our forward fold. If you have a wall available to you, you could stand with your back right against that wall. Making sure that our butt does not go back like in our hinge, we'll start by looking up at the ceiling, tucking the chin, crown goes tall for a moment, and then we flex, rounding through each unique vertebrae, tight as if we're in that phone booth as we slowly go to the ground. Take one breath here into the belly. Exhale. One breath into the chest. Exhale. And then walk out a little bit and have a little bit of a wrist check-in here. Fingertips open and wide. They'll go down first, then the first knuckles or the callus line of the hand, followed by the heels or the palm. From here, we're going to screw in so those blood donations face forward. The crown is pressing away from the body and maintaining our breath. From here, lean forward, midnight, and then use the clock face on the ground as a reference and go from midnight towards 3 or 9 as you go counterclockwise here. And I'm at 6. And then I'll pull myself towards that 9 o'clock position and then finishing back at midnight. Repeat in the other direction. So I'll be going counterclockwise from 12 o'clock, pulling and pressing through 9, pushing myself from 9 towards that backside or 6 o'clock of the clock face, pulling myself around to 3, and then keeping that nice pulling tension, traveling back to midnight. From here, push off. We're in a tall kneel position. Assemble your legs together, and then a lunge stance out front. From here, lightly at first, squeeze or extend the back hip. Now, press the front leg down. Try to pull this leg up or off the floor, for 10 seconds. 9, 8. The front leg is pressing down heavy, and this back leg is trying to pull up into that hip socket. Lightly relax that tension. Repeat one last time. In the lunge, squeeze the butt cheek and slurp it up or pull that femur bone into the hip socket for 5 and 4. How does that feel right here? And relax. Load is appropriate. Good stretch. Avoid that burning pain position. Try a little less hard if that's where you're at. Leg out front, return it underneath, and then to switch. From here, same thing. A light butt cheek squeeze of my left side or hip extension forward from the back. Press down on the front, and then for 10 seconds, pull that femur into this hip. Is it the same? Is it easier, harder, different? This one's a little bit more challenging for me. And then relax. What about you? Same thing. One more time. I'm going to squeeze the back butt cheek.
Easier.
Press down and try to pull that head of femur into the hip for 5, 4. This is stretching or strengthening that hip flexor with
1.
hip extension, and relax. Pull that leg underneath. We'll stand up using our forward fold. With those hands assembled like before, now do a gentle tailbone tilt to the ceiling or anterior tip of the pelvis. Then press through the floor towards that baby down dog. Straighten the knees if you need to. I'm going to keep mine bent. And with bent knees, I'll end up in my upper body flexion position. And then we'll flex to stand as we extend the vertebrae one by one, finishing with the head neck. Reset in the middle. I'm going to hand it over to Lauren. We're going to follow along with head, shoulder, and hip mobility from a sumo stance. Sumo stance, take it away.
Oh, sumo stance. Let's put our feet underneath us. Turn them out just a little bit. And then point and take a step that's slightly wider than your shoulder width, where you feel like a sumo. From here, we're going to put hula hoops on our body parts. So first, our hula hoop is going to go around our head neck. Put it on. What that means is that head neck's going to slide forward. It's then going to slide around to the side, slightly to the back, across the back corner to a new corner, and back to where it started. Let's put that head back stacked on, and then go the other direction. Head slides forward. Head slides around the other direction of your circle, to the back corner, along the back wall, out to the front, and then gently stack it back on top. Nice. Next, our hula is going to go on our rib cage. So we'll take our rib cage, slide it forward. From here, draw that nice hula circle all the way around. Out the back here, make sure you have that core tension so you're not just arching on that lumbar spine. That felt so good. Let's go the same direction one more time.
That core brace, Lauren. Good cue.
Also squeeze your butts. And nothing's really moving but that rib cage. Go to where you started, stack back on top, and then we'll put our hula back on and go the other direction for 2. I slid forward first. Now I'm going counterclockwise here this time. Trying to get that back edge of the hula, ending up in that new corner. Sliding around to the front. As I do this, I picture my chest staying at the same level the whole time. So I'm not tipping side to side, but I'm just sliding around. Once you end up front, stack, shake it for a second, but don't go anywhere. Hula's on our hips. This is the normal hula. From here, take those hips and try to circle the hula hoop around. Right now, let's go straightish knees, fairly straight here. We'll go 3 in one direction. As you're reaching out the back, I'm trying not to tip, tip, tip there, but to stay slightly tucked under. And then switch directions for 3. Feel those femurs moving around in the socket a little bit, trying to get all the corners of the circle.
Those adductors.
Yeah, the floor pulling together underneath you to feel that groin a little bit. Through center, point, close. And then we too are going to fold back down to the floor. Standing tall, gentle chin tuck, but then it looks up towards the ceiling. Then pull through the front of the neck to pull the chin towards the chest. Start curling and rounding forward. Remember, there's a wall in front of you and a wall behind you. Try to stay between them as best as you can. Roll yourself to the bottom of your forward fold. Hang out for a second. I liked what we did the last time, so let's do that here where we took our belly breath. And then we took a chest breath. And when I take this chest breath, I think of it coming out the back of my rib cage as well. Slowly walk yourself forward. We'll end up on all 4s. And we're going to visit my favorite 3 positions from all 4s, our hip flexion, our hip extension, and our abduction. You wouldn't have known, would you?
Lateral placement.
All right. What that means is hands are underneath our shoulders. We have a neutral spine, but our core is braced. We're first going to bend a knee without taking the knee off the floor. Try to kick your butt with your ankle bone. Now, slurp that knee into its hip socket or lift the knee just slightly off the floor. From there, keeping your tailbone tilted long, bring the knee towards your chest into hip flexion and hold for 5. 4, keep that deep knee bend. 2, 1, keep the knee bent, brush it through center, and we're going to hip extension or where you kick the ceiling out the back. Once you get to your hip extension, square your hips up to the floor. Feel that glute fire up. Is your knee still really bent? For 3, 2, pull that knee back underneath so your legs end up parallel. From that parallel position, we're lifting it right out to the side and holding. Is your knee still bent? Your ankle still in flexion. You're lifting from your cheek. You're square to the floor. 3, 2, pull to return that leg underneath. Let it rest. Take a second off your hands, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hip flexion, hip extension, abduction.
A-B-A-B-A-D.
Neutral spine with a core brace. Second leg, kick the butt with the ankle first and hold. Then lift the knee off the floor slightly. Keeping the tailbone long, knee comes towards chest. Hip flexion, hold. 5, 4, 2, 1. From here, slowly kicking up towards the ceiling. As you pass through center, try not to arch that low back, so re-engage your core. Stay square to the floor with both hips, and go hold. 5. Knee is still deep bent. 3, 2, 1. Pulls back to center, parallel quads. From parallel, lift the leg out to the side. Bowl of water on your back, wouldn't spill. Bowl of chili would be more appropriate today. 2, 1. Pull the leg back to center. Press it away. Take a second off. Now don't go far. We're gonna do a little something. Oh no, we're not. That's later. Bring a foot up into your kneeling lunge. Heel toe it open to the side. From here, let's just, you know what? Let's put our hulas back on. Put your hula on and slowly hula circle in this position. Just about 2 one direction, center, 2 hula circles the other direction.
What's the hard corner for you? The front corner.
Front, yeah. Now, we're neutral. Our back glute is squeezed, hips slightly tucked under, hips are level. From here, gently push down into this foot and pull, but don't go anywhere. So you're driving this foot down and you're pulling on the floor, but you're not going anywhere. Your back butt cheeks extended and you should feel a little fire here. Now relax. Let's do that again. Drive down, pull, squeeze your back cheek. This time let's drift a little bit. So our knee could press towards over our toe. Our back hip is still extended. Once you get to your safe deep range, pause, relax, retuck, re-squeeze. This time drive down and away to send yourself back to tall. Heel toe that leg to center. Pull it underneath. Same thing second side. Up front, heel toe open. Hula's on for 2 each way, and just getting that hip circle going. And then once you've done 2 in one direction, 2 the other direction. This feels nice. Back to center. Squeeze your back cheek, extend, leveled hips. First, we don't go anywhere. We push down, we pull on the floor, and we stay. And we hold, extending that back hip, feeling this for 3, 2, relax, retuck, re-squeeze, re-drive down and pull. This time we drift, knee presses towards over toe. Keep extending that back hip forward towards the screen. 3, 2, relax for a second. Retuck, re-squeeze, drive down, press away, coming back to center and tall, extending hip. Relax, heel toe foot to center, pull leg underneath, and we're going to crawl hover. Next. So come back to our all fours position. Let's just fire up our hover holds with those hands under your shoulders and toes tucked. Shrug your shoulders up into your ears and then pull them down, juicing that orange in the armpit, engaging your lats. Keep them there. With your toes tucked, brace your core, pull the floor together, lift your knees 1 or 2 inches off the floor and hold. Pull, tension together. Now press your hands forward and your feet back. And then pull them together again and hold for 4, 3, 2, soft landing. Whew. We're gonna do that one more time. We might have some bonus additions this time. Ready? Brace, lift, pull the floor together. Hold that tension in your core. No twisting or dipping. Can you lift a foot off the floor? 3, 2, switch feet. 3, 2, put that foot down. Maybe try a hand or think about that hand. No twisting, dipping. Other hand. 3, 2, back to center. Relax. We're going to stand up one more time via our forward fold. Tuck those toes, lift the knees, tailbone long. Slowly walk those hands back. And as you unfold, think about stacking 1 vertebrae at a time on top of each other. Head, neck is the last to stack.
My feet were too narrow to even try to lift a hand on that one. I'm going to set up a little bit wider the next time. One more job on the head. Rib cage, T-spine, lumbar with our first position stance. The sumo was wide. We'll take our stance a little bit narrow this time. Pivot on those heels, as Lauren said. And from here, little Ferris wheel. I'll slide my ear, head, neck to the right, pull down, and little circles. So the Ferris wheel shape on the wall in front of you, or the clock face on the front of you where you start in center at midnight. And here I am going counterclockwise to 9.
Do we switch directions then?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one takes a lot of concentration, so I do lose my words around here. So nice and slow, circle joints, keeping everything nice and tight, and relax. Same thing through the rib cage. That core stability down low, glute squeeze, feet pressing into the floor. At the rib cage, we can slide again to the left, pull the rib cage down, slide across, lift up, and repeat 1 or 2 more repetitions. Nice and control. We either want that lyrical dancer level of mobility, flow through that, or we want that tension that resists and allows for strong movements in this plane. 1 or 2 more as Lauren catches up, pull down, and then 1 more time here. There's a little bit less room even than up here and there when we try to do that action in the hips. From here, could you try to do the same action and just really feel the floor as you pull and push and get confused with what you're really trying to do, squirming in your pants here a little bit, and then just shake it out. From there, let's fold back down on the ground. Lauren will take us through that full range of motion at the hip, putting together those spots we trained just a moment ago. Let's fold one last time. Her cue, Lauren's cue, to start looking up and pull with the front of the neck. Pull the front of the neck, the chin towards sternum. Lightly, let gravity do most of this work now as you flex through that rib cage. Keeping the feet heavy, glutes squeezed, I'll bend my knees. It's a nice modification to help flex and learn the spine. From there, we'll stay in that folded position with bent knees or straight. And one more time, 4-second breath into the belly. Hold and exhale. 4 seconds in the chest. Exhale. From there, walk out to all fours. And Lauren, let's cramp up those hips.
Okay. We're going to we're going to come forward, side, around the back, underneath, back, around the side, under. Hands underneath hips. First thing, just like last time, bend that knee, trying to kick your butt with your ankle. Then, compressing in the hip or lifting the knee slightly off the floor, bring it to the front in our hip flexion, keeping the tailbone long. Pause for a second. We're going to lift that leg now, drawing the circle out to the side, all the way around to the, getting to the back side there where the ankle is going to end up towards the ceiling, where hips are square, we're lifting through our glute, our low back is tucked slightly, and then we pull that knee back to parallel and under us. Keep it hovering off the floor. Let's reverse the direction. Kick the ceiling first, squaring up out the back, lifting the leg around the hydrant, bringing the knee towards the elbow, trying not to spill that bowl of chili, bringing the knee underneath towards the chest, and then letting it go back parallel with the other leg. Same thing, second side. Establish that nice core brace there. Bend the knee first. Hover the knee off the floor. Pull it towards chest. Lifting it out to the side. Carving out that circle where that ankle is going to lift. Our femur goes through some internal rotation as we reach out towards the back. Square up. Keep extending. And then bring that leg underneath to brush. Rebrace core. We're going backwards, so kick the ceiling first. Pause. Then open up, drawing that circle. Knee coming towards the elbow. And then underneath towards the chest. And brush it back to where it started. Whew. Nice.
Push that floor away. Give those wrists just a little bit of a break. From here, could you point your toes like Lauren has here? Or are they tucked under like in the lunge? If allowed, let's point those toes. And then bending on the knees, let's sit, heels towards butt. Hands on the butt, if you wish. Cramp up those glutes as we then extend the hips. Tuck the toes back. Make adjustments. And with hands or without, press yourself back to a full foot position. Knees over toes. Try to keep that chest high and press to tall stand. From here, continue to press down as we grow up and hold a 5-second balance here. With the butt squeezed, kneecaps pulled up, take 5 seconds as well to slowly lower to the floor. Nice and control. One more time through that full series. With feet flat on the floor, press the knees towards over the toes. Then transition to a toe squat with the heels lifting to descend a little lower. Then hands on the floor for assistance, knees down, extend those hips to the top, then flatten the feet and slowly hinge back again to sit. One more time. Butt squeeze, extend, tuck toes, hands or no hands, to a position where the feet can stay flat, and then extend those hips through. Let's hold our next balance, about 5 seconds again. For an additional challenge, add the rotation at the head, neck, and maintain your focus. And then, in center, take about 5 seconds again to slowly lower with butt squeezed, abs braced, lowering down. When the heels connect, bend the knees, transition to the toe squat on the balls of the feet, return the knees to the floor, extend the hips, and one more time on all fours, out to the side. AB, adduction.
All right, what we're gonna do is we're going to hinge and come down to all fours. Then we're gonna take a single leg, and I'd like you to take it out to a goalie save out here. Nice straight leg, hiya kick. Right now my foot is flat on the floor. We will be lifting it, so let's think about that foot as we're going here. But it's out to the side. I'm staying square to the floor without lifting the leg off the floor, but I want you to think about lifting it. Ready, set, pretend to lift the leg off the floor. Pretend to lift it, feel what's firing up for 3, 2, and then relax. Maybe that's all you do. You pretend. That's just fine. If you want to go next level, tailbone slightly tilted long, abs braced, ready, set, pretend, but then actually lift the foot and hold. Stay square to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, tap, place down. We're gonna do that one more time. When I lifted that leg, I ended up pulling my ankle into dorsiflexion or foot towards that shin. Try that if you do get there. Ready, set, start loading it up. And then active lift off, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, tap down, bend the knee, return it underneath. Whew. Take a second off those hands. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, just like when we do all of our other hip activities, make sure that you're not twisting or falling to that side in order to lift the leg. From all fours. Other leg reaches out. Right? Try to get that foot flat just for a little extra activity. And then first one is a pretend lift. Ready, set, pretend to lift it. Woo! Harder on this side. Different muscles lighting up. Same. 3, 2, relax. Continue that. Or 3, 2, 1. Active lift off, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, tap down. One more time, same side. 3, 2, lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, tap down. Pull that knee underneath to return to center. We're standing up.
Yeah.
Press the floor or come up via down dog. Do whatever you want, but stand up.
Do whatever you want.
Oh, that threw me off.
That includes a coffee right now.
A lot of work there. That was lovely.
Right on. You have to go check the camera.
No, I already did that.
Great. Sorry, I have to say that live on the air. Great. Working on some balance next. We did our forward fold. Folding. Next, hinging. For our first repetition on each side, let's stand on 2 feet in your hinge stance, which just might be outside of those hips again. From here, transfer weight to one leg. Then, reach that leg out the back. Are your ribs and hips still connected? Take that leg back out to the side and repeat. Transfer weight to that standing leg and then reach, keeping that toe on the ground. Return to the side and under. Now let's set up our hinge. In the hinge position, vertical shins, heavy feet, spine extended. Transfer weight to one leg and then take that same leg that was out to the side, keep touching the floor, work it towards around the back, and then stand up tall, this time through center. Open up your stance, repeat on the other leg. Press into the floor to cue that hinge. Transfer weight to one side. Reach that leg that Lauren trained out to the side for us, then into the back. Is that shin vertical in the front, and then extend the hip through. Let's repeat one more time of each. A 2-foot hinge, pushing those hips back with a chin tuck. Transfer weight to one side. Is the shin vertical? Then round that leg out to the back and hold on for balance, and hold that for a couple extra seconds, and then extend that hip to tall. And final time, hinge stance, transfer weight to one side, straight leg towards around the back, always working on vertical shin habits in the front, and then extend through. Shake that out. We'll use our get up as we transition to the floor, and then extensions or shoulder mobility drills. The leg that you can touch with either a hand across your chest or placed overhead. Let's take a 5-second lunge. Maybe get your hula hoop on, get those hips level, and for 5, 4, 3, 2, come down, and let's just stand back up. Just do the same thing on the other side. Assemble in your lunge stance with the hip extension in the back. We're taking 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Then from there, let's open the leg to the side. Our rotation, the hinge, the sweep through, partner go.
Hey.
Hi-ya. Then find the elbow. And then nice and controlled at your own pace, return to your back. I skipped that step a little bit. Lauren's gonna do a little of a turn here and either follow along for the first set or watch this one, and then I'll be doing the same with Lauren cueing. Laying prone.
I thought you were gonna be the model today.
I'll do it. Perfect. I wanted to do this. Nice.
Yeah. Come towards me just a little bit. All right, we're gonna work on our shoulder extension. So whether you're lying prone or in a tall kneel, we're starting with our hips tucked under, abs braced, good, neutral head neck, from a W position here. Let's first just elevate or shrug our shoulders into our ears and then pull them down. Do that one more time. Elevate, shrug shoulders, pull them down. Now protract or bring the shoulder blades forward and then retract, pinching a pencil in between them. Repeat that again. Protract forward, retract back. Now keep that retracted and depressed position and slowly hover your elbows and hands off the floor and hold for 5, 4, 3. Hands are gonna find the floor, but blades are still gonna stay retracted. And then relax for a second. Let's add on. Retract your blades. Slowly elevate shoulders and hands off the floor to hover. Now from here, extending on the elbows towards a T-like position and hold. And even the position I'm in here is work for me too, so don't feel like you have to be prone if that's not for you today. Extend your elbows straight, straight, straight. Keep your shoulder blades retracted. 3, 2. Now keep those blades retracted as you pull your arms back into that W position. They still should be hovering off the floor. Hands and elbows are gonna find the floor. Keep the blades retracted and then gently relax. Do you have one more, Ian? All right, retract the blades. Hands and elbows lift to your W. This time we're gonna go out to our T and maybe work towards that Y position. And if you're in that Y position, keep those shoulders out of your ears, so pull them down even more. Straighten your elbows even more. 3, 2. Now imagine pulling yourself up to bring your elbows down to your sides in your W position, engaging your lats. Hands find the floor and gently relax.
I know why I always gave this task to Lauren. That's a really hard drill. From here, stay standing if you're standing. If you're on the ground like me, let's get up through our get up protocol. Pushing that hip extension into the floor, pulling on the elbow, pressing to the tall sit. Bridge, sweep, slide, square, stand. That's a lot of S's right there. Shake it out once we're at the top. Coming back to that single leg hinge for the last time. Same drill as before. Keep contact with the floor and check in with the vertical leg. Use a balance aid out to the side if you need assistance, and make those modifications for 2 reps each side as you need. Tall, hinge stance. Push the hips back, spine long. Transfer weight to one side. Extend the leg further out to the side then, and then towards the back. Hold for 5, and are those hips square, shoulders square, vertical shin. Drive or extend to tall. Open, hinge, transfer weight. I'm on my left side. The right leg is then rounding the back, holding center, vertical front shin, square hip, little check-ins, and then extend through. Last one each side. Open, hinge, transfer, round that leg out the back, vertical shin, squared up, tension, and tall. And last one, open, hinge. Those feet are pressing into the ground, toes rooting heavy. Hold for a second longer, and then extend back to tall. Finishing today's practice, grab that chair, heading to the bar for nice open and close actions in the hips to finish. Use your bar, use your nothing.
Yeah.
What you got?
It's
Okay.
imaginary today.
Standing tall, 2 variations to finish. One, the standing leg will be providing stability, and the other, mobility. First, stability. Pull up the outside leg to the ankle. Cramp that standing leg butt cheek and try to take the bent leg knee across the body without twisting. Shoulders and head and hips stay forward. Then open towards the side as to make the number 4, and same thing. Head, shoulders, hips stay forward. From here, could you climb the leg towards the standing leg knee? Then from that new position, let's close up the hip. We're tall, we're standing, cramping that standing leg and bringing the bent leg knee towards across the body. Then we'll cramp up that standing leg even further. Open up to that number 4 shape. Hold for a second longer. And for one more rep, could you climb the leg? Close it up. Holding for 4. Standing taller yet again. Adducting or bringing it into center. And then away. Hold. Return to center. And as you press this leg down the leg, grow tall when it connects to the floor with a bum cheek squeeze. Shake that out. Same thing on the other side. We can definitely do that without the balance aid to challenge ourselves in the center, but use the balance aid to check in to make sure the hips are nice and level. Same thing on the other side. Standing tall, give that butt cheek an extra cramp. Trying to bring this knee towards Lauren, but ensuring that the standing leg hip continues to press forward. Then open to the side and hold. Recramp, re-squeeze. From here, flex the hip, meaning bring the leg towards that standing leg knee. And then, with control, closing, staying tall. As the leg gets higher, it's probably harder to bring this over here. Slowly cramping, open back up to the side and hold. There's one more repetition. Out at this side, we might climb up again. Then close up, stand tall here. Bring that leg across the body for 2 more seconds. We're going to open it up one last time. Taller again. Return to center. And as you brush that standing leg down, when it connects to the floor, turn your butt cheek on and grow tall. One last drill, each leg. This time, as if we're doing our movement clock, we'll use this leg here to create mobility to go the other direction. Little shake in between. I'm going to be standing on my left leg first. Standing on my left leg, pulling my right leg just off the floor. Hug into center. Now on the standing leg, try to rotate towards a new corner. My hips are maybe pointing to 2 o'clock if right now they're pointing at you at midnight. Repeat once or twice again. Cramp up this leg. Let your head and shoulders follow, but do the rotation on the standing leg. Feel this lateral tension pulling up and connecting to the floor. One more time on the other side. Pull up to that coup de pied position. Extend the hip with a glute squeeze. As you make this transition, less daylight between legs like mine indicates that you're doing it with strictness and stability from the standing leg. And close. One or two more. Nice and control.
Sorry.
Sternum and hips and head working as a team. Adducting in for strength. Shake that out. Good morning, hips.
Whoa.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Lauren goes on her 3 or 4 kilometer run most Sundays. I come here and set up and check in with Sunday and start strong. We appreciate you spending your morning routine with us here on Sunday or any day in the archive, and look forward to training soon, staying strong, and taking care of our bodies with you.
And I'm glad that that comment said, holy, I understand that feeling.
We do. We do. These are our workouts. As I said, Lauren does go on those little runs, but what we do online makes up what we do. We love how it feels. Thank you so much for sharing. And the chat is exploding today, so we just might not be able to get me to be quiet here.
Thank you.
So this is Lauren.
Thank you.
We'll do our final wrap up. Wrap it up, Lauren.
Goodbye. See you soon.
No, you're good.
Thanks for chatting.
Thank you.
So nice to have other human contact. Goodbye.
Goodbye.